Hi, Soul Family. It's good to be back. First of all, I'd like to say that I have not been back to this format of vlogging and sharing my thoughts in long form video on YouTube for more than a year now. So if now you're here today and you are tuning into this, I'd like to thank you for still sticking around with my channel and occasionally tuning in and of course seeing this video today. Where do I begin? I have not been back on this long form screen, but I have been, however, doing a lot of short form reels on my IG channel, sharing my ideas, sharing the divine channelings that I got with regards to the different esoteric ideas. What I personally have experienced in my own spiritual journey, a lot of it, of course, is my gnosis, and as we all know, gnosis is only verified by self and the divine experience. So I try my best in whatever way I can to share and to put the ideas across. First, I'm a bit all over the place. So if you're starting to feel like, oh, why is she all over the place? I can tell you it's because I did not start the day thinking I'm going to make a video today. I'm going to vlog. I'm going to sit down and say all these things. Truth is, I've been feeling a lot lately. And it's not just lately. I've been feeling a lot in bouts and seasons, which is perfectly normal. I've gotten a hang of it, right? In all kinds of spiritual growth and awakening passage, it's no longer just one awakening. We don't experience just one. There's a lot. It's in escalations, it's in progressions, it's in milestones. And in my own growth, in my own journey, it has I'm very aware when the different milestones are reached, and when I'm in a particular season where I need to retreat and go back into my own space and spend an extensive amount of self-time, as what most might consider hermiting, right? Self-time to gather what I am hearing, feeling, and developing. A lot of it is conversation with spirit. Anyways, so I did not expect myself coming onto the screen today to share. The truth is, I am now in another very, very deep season of hermiting. I'm feeling a lot. And the Aquarian that I am, when I feel a lot, I don't share that much. I tend to ruminate. I tend to think. Very airy. But anyways, I am making a habit of sharing, and the vulnerability is very precious. For me, it is very precious to catch myself in moments of wanting to share that vulnerable side of me. I try to make it a norm these days, right? And I'm not saying being vulnerable is something that is something I can't go to. In fact, I appreciate when people so naturally get into it. And different personalities and different types may find themselves more drawn towards sharing their vulnerability easily and openly and being able to verbalize it. Whereas I find myself having to think and rethink and rephrase in my own mind before I can then sit down with somebody that is my closest, nearest and dearest, then, to process what I have to say, because it is a web. It's a web in my head. Anyways, you might find that today I'm not about to start talking about spiritual teachings or esoteric ideas. That's not my point today. It's just that, again, I did not think that I will sit down now to talk about this. My challenges over the past 1.5, nearly 2 years of my spiritual journey. And why is it I am on again, off again with the screen time? and developing my teachings and sharing my ideas, sharing my philosophies, sharing my experiences. And of course, as one might notice also, I have a lot of different development phases in my spiritual journey, from rituals, practices, beliefs, and then down to more soul care, soul guidance related work. A lot of it has to do with my daily life. A lot of it has to do with the way I work with my mentees, my clients, those whom I'm guiding and coaching. So I feel that, of course, a lot of it goes hand in hand. A lot of it is part of my, I would say, responsibility to self and responsibility to the others. And I always like to put sovereignty at the front of everything. Same, sovereignty for others. So I try not to over share, as well as I put my own sovereignty in the front line, which is, if I don't feel like doing it, I don't like to talk about it, then I will not. I'm not going to simply do it because it feeds the algorithm, it feeds the sensationalization of it so that I can get views and things like that. Anyways, this just makes me a very unsuccessful in a realm of appealing to the audience on a very regular basis. I'll say that I am not your top-notch successful type when it comes to that, but that said, I'm very proud of my work still. So, short of coming to a point where it sounds like I'm ranting, I just want to share that my current season of change has me observing a lot of my own personal willingness to be in this space, doing the work, while at the same time opposing or feeling some kind of opposition in this space. And by space, I mean the spiritual space. Whether you are a spiritual practitioner yourself, or you're an individual who is spiritual and going through any kind of spiritual part of your journey, and I like to see if this is something that you might find relevant to you. I find that there's a lot of noise in this space. I always talk about being sovereign in terms of spiritual sovereignty. I believe that everybody in their own soul has their own compass. And the more we practice that compass, which in other words is tuning into the truest signature frequency of yourself, I believe that when we practice that more, we return to a state of sovereignty, and that is our compass of what we stand for, what we believe in, that inner conversation, the thing that allows us to be one. We no longer call our higher self the higher self. I would say that this is an endeavor towards being one with your higher self. You are your higher self, right? And I think short of coming to some kind of confusion, a lot of people might say, oh, then are we always our higher self? Are we always prime? The answer is no, of course we're not. We are human. And the very essence of the human experience is that we are not always crystalline higher self. But this spiritual journey of coming into awareness, coming into realization, and back to sovereignty is what brings us to that crystalline place of aligning with our higher self. And that is the whole point. That's the whole point. The whole point is not to be perfect. The whole point is to go through the experience of coming back home to that higher self. Occasionally, frequently, sitting in that space, having that conversation with your own self, your own higher self. There are days we will falter. There are days we are less than perfect. It's perfectly good. That is being human, and that is the whole point. So anyways, me, while, going through my daily life, being as human as I am, having my own fallacies and days when I falter, days when I'm not able to follow what I preach, but at the same time being as aligned and responsible as I can, serving the collective, the community. So during this whole time, I enter into what seems like now a period of at least a month now, where I feel an energetic shift. I feel that I do not want to talk to anyone. I do not want to work with anyone. I do not want to indulge in, or I do not want to indulge in any socialization. I do not want to. Well, some might categorize this as, oh, are you hiding from the world? Yeah, it feels a bit like it. It feels a bit like it, but that's okay, because again, this is a lot of it is my personal preference and character. I feel more peace. I feel more peace when I am reclused and just talking to myself in spirit until I reach a proper point of understanding in my conversation. I feel there's no point going out there and just spraying it at everyone. That's why today, coming onto this video and talking about all this, for me at this point, I already felt like, oh, it's such a rant. It's such a rant to just share. But yet I felt like there is a desire for people to understand what life may look like for a person who does spiritual work. We're not perfect. Far from it. Far from it. Much as I try to guide others on their path and help them align to their true self, align to their inner work and all that, this is me on my days when I myself am having to do work on myself. And this is the tough bit. I never believed in the past that overshare. I don't overshare. I still don't believe in oversharing. And this is me oversharing right now. And I just felt like maybe today is the day to overshare. Maybe today is the day to just have a very casual chat about it, because I want people to know that I'm not perfect. I don't try to be perfect. And it feels okay to show that people who do spiritual work, people who enter into whatever esoteric space themselves, it is a space of the unknown. It is the space where so little can be concretely proven. We have to rely on our intuition, psychic abilities, divine faith, belief in that gnosis and all that to give ourselves the understanding, to give ourselves the grounding. Right? So I've been doing that work with myself mostly, and you can say this is a peaceful place to be when one is doing it with themselves, with spirit, and it also is a lonely place to be, because I cannot seek greedily, I cannot seek largely affirmation from the masses. It doesn't work like that. So again, what is the whole point of me sharing all this? I think some people out there, again, if you're a spiritual practitioner or if you are on your own spiritual path, might find that this is highly relevant. The one thing that I came to constantly is the more I know, the less I know. The more I think I am there, the less I am there. Depending on what you think there is, right? There. Meeting my higher self, knowing spirit, understanding the different realms. The more I talk about it, the more I realize I have to learn about it. The more sure I am, the less sure I am. It's such a huge contradiction, but it is so true. And that's why I want to talk about it today, before I go crazy. Yes, that's one thing, right? How do we know we're not crazy? Because, again, there is a lot of divine faith required in this work. Anyways, I don't want to make this video tremendously long. Again, not knowing what this calling to do this today is for, I thought I will prop up my camera, something I have not done for the past more than 1.5 years. I've actually gone on camera and do readings, but those are private bookings, and of course it's not like everyone sees it. It's only for my clients. And today this officially is, maybe I will cut it, maybe I won't. It will go on YouTube. And having not seen those that are still my subscribers, I say thank you today for still being around with me. I wish that I can gain momentum again and find more multitudes of meaning and reason and purpose for sharing my ideas through whether it's Instagram Reels or through YouTube videos, blogging, talking style. I've tried different, something that I like to add before I end off this video is that also for several months now, I thought perhaps to share the more abstract ideas that I have, I will use different types of tech and tools, particularly AI. And it seems like even that is not gaining ground, it's not gaining traction. Perhaps maybe it's just that I don't have the audience for it, or I'm not doing it right. I don't know. It comes out of my own pocket to do things like that, and I'm wondering if it's worth it, because I feel like there's also this people inclining towards more direct talking into the camera, sharing my ideas. Maybe this helps everybody feel a little bit more connected with me, and not so much if I give them an AI version of me, or there's a lot of reason to why I do the whole AI thing, by the way. Not going into full details, it's because I went through a long, many months of my voice being impeded by the fact that I've been down with a virus that is just persistent. I will keep coughing, so I thought, you know what, let's not bother with the whole being on camera and worrying about that I have to cough every few seconds. Anyways, and then there's a lot of other things. But that's it. I just want to share that I somehow hit a wall with the whole AI thing. Maybe it'll continue, maybe it won't, but I, on the other note, wish that I can more consistently show up with face-to-face videos like these. And let me know if you look forward to it. If you do and you like me to continue sharing this way, I will answer the call and continue. Yeah. So it's good to see everyone. Thanks for tuning in, and to better days, to more exciting days. I'll see you again. Bye.